Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy Ruben. You know what it is. New week, new video. And missed Victory Monday, but Victory Tuesday, and none other than the biggest win of the season with the Jaguars beating the Baltimore Ravens 28-27, throwing a 2-point conversion to win the game and being able to withstand the walking, kicking god that is Justin Tucker, who was unable to hit a 67-yarder. Thank God they didn't gain a single yard extra because it looked like it would have been good from at least 65. So we managed to dodge that bullet, pull out the win, especially being down, I think, 9 points in the fourth quarter. Baltimore drops another one while having the lead in the fourth. It's been the bane of their existence this year. And it was a huge win for us. Trevor looked awesome. Definitely thought it might have been, it gave that feeling of, is this Trevor's coming out party? Is this finally his I belong game? And it's more than just this game. For the last 3-4 games, Trevor Lawrence has completion percentages of, let's see, after the loss to the Denver Broncos, he only had a 58% completion percentage. But then his last 3 games, 80%, 72%, 78%. Something clicked. He threw an awful interception in Denver that had seemed to kind of become a habit because he threw a similar interception in Houston where in the red zone, scrambling around, he was forcing balls and I guess just not respecting the overall athleticism of some of these defenders. And the red zone interceptions have dissipated, and some of the bonehead decisions he's made are starting to reel that in. I'd like to credit the coaching staff because something's definitely clicked for Trevor. The way they're scheming some of this stuff. Now, I do want to temper, again, like I do every video, temper some expectations because while I do think this is his welcome to the NFL, I belong moment, right? Some of these defenses that he's doing it against, Kansas City, Las Vegas Raiders, and then yesterday Baltimore being the best defense of them, right? They're not exactly the greatest defenses. Baltimore has been giving away leads, as I stated earlier. So, there's a little give and take there, obviously. I just like to play devil's advocate to try to kind of bring us in a little bit because we like to jump out the window because we've been so starved for success here that it is what it is. You guys have been Jags fans long enough, you know what it is. So, with that being said, this was a thrilling win. This was one that I actually kind of wish that I had been to, but these games have been so far few between. When I was going all the time, I was a season ticket holder, multiple seasons, and I can't remember getting the closest win that was similar to this was when we beat the Giants when they came here like 4 years ago. But it wasn't quite as dramatic, but it was a win that we pulled out in the end. That kind of gave you a similar vibe. But with that being said, again, Trevor threw for 321, 3 touchdowns. His mechanics were solid and sound. The ball placement was awesome considering where that ball was placed on Marcus Peters, where Marvin Jones made the game-winning touchdown catch. And then even the ball placement on the Zay Jones touchdown. These, as I stated earlier this year, they're not true number one guys, but these are professional wide receivers. These are guys that you can expect to make the catch or the tough catch, here and there, keep drives moving. They're not guys that I expect to drop those kind of passes. And thankfully, we got him here in Duval. Marvin Jones might not be with us come next year with the addition of Calvin Ridley. I'd hate to see him leave. I really think this has the makings of a really good receiving core with a Calvin Ridley if we were able to keep Marvin Jones. But we got some decisions to make regarding the cap. We got Jawan Taylor coming up. We made some big signings this year. They're kind of putting us behind the 8 ball next year. And that's fine. We wanted to make some moves. It was going to take some losses. And we even have decisions to make on the defensive end. Like, what are we going to do with Josh Allen? I am a Josh Allen fan. I know a lot of guys are out on him. And I know yesterday I kept seeing in certain threads that, man, our pass rush sucks and da-da-da-da-da. But, what I will say specifically with regards to the pass rush yesterday, you got to remember we were playing Lamar Jackson. When you're playing Lamar Jackson, you don't want to just rush with reckless abandon when you're coming at a guy or a quarterback that mobile. Your first priority is to contain, which is basically means you can't just crash crazy and attack the quarterback. So they're rushing, but the idea is just to keep them in the pocket. And then if you see an opportunity to kind of close on them, then you take it. But the first thing you do is make sure you keep them in the pocket. So that affects some of the pass rush, which then in turn, I've been telling you guys all season we have issues in the secondary covering, and even our linebacking core has not been great at covering this year. So it's allowed for things to happen, a lot like the Deshaun Jackson bomb. So when you're not getting the pressure that you need, and realistically in a game like that, the ends got to contain. The pass rush really needs to come from up the gut, and we kind of lack that outside of Dewan Smoot. And I'm going to keep saying this. Some of the issues that we're having on defense are things that I've pointed out in that middle linebacker. We got Foye Oluokun, who came from a 4-3 defense, cover 2 type of defense, cover 3. Then we drafted Devin Lloyd, who I love Devin Lloyd a lot. And then we drafted Chad Muma, which made me wish we never signed Foye Oluokun. And Oluokun has been playing well in terms of just racking up tackles the last few games. But Devin Lloyd has kind of taken a step back. And to be honest with you, he hasn't played that well this season in general. The only reason we've kind of been giving him a bye is because he's been able to make some splash plays. Like he had a few interceptions, I think. I think he has 3 interceptions. I know 2 for sure. But they're of the variety that it wasn't quite that he made the play. Like the ball popped up in Indianapolis and he caught it. He was able to make things like that. He's always around the ball. He's super athletic. He's way more athletically gifted than Chad Muma. But Chad Muma seems to be the steadying force right now. And so, I think it's a little unfair to Devin Lloyd to just say, hey, plug Muma in. Because Muma had the opportunity to watch Lloyd and watch the mistakes Lloyd's missing and to actually see tape and grind tape and see it from the sideline and see the mistakes that are being made and able to apply it. But what I will say is Chad Muma's more of a throwback linebacker than Devin Lloyd is. Devin Lloyd was a bit of a tweener coming out of Utah, a bit of a jack of all trades, do it, pass rush, coverage. Like he did a lot of things. What I see from Devin Lloyd is uncertainty. Not only is it uncertainty, but again, Mike McCoy came from Tampa Bay. This is an attacking style 3-4. And so, they're supposed to be used in blitz a lot. There's a lot to learn considering what angles to blitz from. When you're covering what linebackers blitzing, because you're going to have to maybe cover from certain angles that you're not accustomed to. And it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to put on a rookie. And again, Chad Muma was able to kind of absorb that more. And he looks like a steadying force right now in the middle. I hope to see a Muma, Devin Lloyd future at middle linebacker. Maybe we can eventually trade Oluokun and get some value back for him, because I think both these linebackers are going to be good. And we just have a lot of youth, guys. The defense is going to be a work in progress. We definitely got to get a corner in here. We definitely got to get maybe even a safety. I know some people, I don't know why, they're really high on Jenkins, right? And not that I don't like him. He's a heat-seeking missile, and that's great. But he can't cover. And when you have a safety that can't cover, you can't have a corner playing on the same side of the field that can't cover as well. And that's been the problem. So you essentially have half the field not covered, and then you got your linebackers trying to figure out life and cover up certain holes. It's too big. Like, you got a corner here, a safety here, and then your linebackers here. Imagine a triangle. So you got your linebacker here, and this corner is giving up on the route, and then this safety's crashing down. All this space is expected to be covered by Devin Lloyd or Chad Muma. And it can't, when you're looking at wide receivers and guys of superior athleticism, you're just leaving 2 big-ass holes in the secondary. And it's affecting everything. The pass rush, it's making the linebackers look bad. But I digress. I don't want to make this whole thing a Jaguar bashing. Here's the exciting part, guys. We got Detroit. It's a very winnable game. One of the worst defenses ever. Trevor should look great. The problem with Detroit is with some of our weaknesses, while we have a better defense in Detroit, their offense is legit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, legit. DJ Chark's back, and he's just a dangerous receiver. That he's 6'4", run a 4.3. He's a guy I liked here in Jacksonville. He just couldn't stay healthy. They have lots of speed on that offense. Jamal Williams, a running back, DeAndre Swift, they just have weapons. A good offensive line. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. Actually, you might see something similar, like a 31-28 kind of game. Who's going to throw the last haymaker? That's what it looks like. So if we win that game, though, winnable game, we have Tennessee the following week. If Tennessee loses to the Eagles, we have all I can ask for. It's an opportunity to control our own destiny, because if we win out, that means beating the Tennessee Titans twice. We can actually win the division. Now, do I think it's something that's likely to happen? No, I don't. I told you guys that I expected 7 wins from this team and maybe a max 9 wins. Can the 9 happen? What are we, 4-7? I mean, the 9 can happen, actually. So I don't expect that. And beating the Titans twice is going to be a tall order. They've been the bane of our existence in past years. But I like the way we game planned against the Indianapolis Colts when we bottled up Jonathan Taylor that first time, which tells me we have the ability to game plan to stop Derrick Henry. Now, where it's going to be a problem is Ryan Tannehill's a respectable quarterback. Is he going to be able to take advantage of us through the air? He might. And that Tennessee defense has always been tough and gritty. They're very well coached. But all I can ask for is the opportunity to control our own destiny and stick it to the Titans. It would make my season. It would make my life. How y'all feel? Let me know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share. I appreciate y'all. Love and support. Holla back at your boy, all right? Peace.